All right. You know that a couple of weeks ago we discussed about a pumpkin. Do you remember that pumpkin story? Are you the pumpkin or the pumpkin you? Do you remember the story? I just wanted to tell something about that pumpkin story. I want to add something to that. We discussed about that pumpkin. You remember that for supper, that dinner, we are going to have this pumpkin soup. So everybody is going to have the pumpkin soup. And definitely, pumpkin is the energy that it supplies the energy to whatever you do. Talk, walk, whatever you do, write, drive, or you work in the office. What you talk is pumpkin energy, what you walk is pumpkin energy, what you do is pumpkin energy, basically. And we all had that pumpkin soup. You had the pumpkin soup, and your husband, wife, your kids, your parents, everybody had it. So everyone's energy source was that pumpkin soup. So then why do we feel this much different from each other? Why do we feel that we are so apart? We have these differences between us. We have ethnic differences. We are different from ethnicity. We are different from religion. We are different from complexation. We are different from where we were born, how we raised. Are we really different from each other? How come your cells are different from my cells? My cells are the anagarika cells, and yours are they, I don't know, who are you? Are they that cells? The Christopher cells? Or Nicola cells? How come the cells different from each other? No, they share the same structure. They share the same organelles. The cells are not different from each other. If we are very different from each other, how do we transfuse the blood? When you are given blood in an emergency, when you were given blood, when a patient is given blood, when transfusion is done, what do you check? Do you check for their religion or their race, gender even, or their ethnicity, or where they are from? Do we check those? Or do we just check about their blood type? We only consider the blood type. We don't care from whom that we got that blood. We don't care about it. We don't care about it. And what about when we do the transplants? You know, today the world is very developed, and we transplant a lot of organs, like kidney transplants and maybe heart transplants, and sometimes brain as well. So how come we do that if we are completely different from each other? Is your kidney completely owned by yourself? Do you really own that? If someone really owns their organs, how come they can donate them? How come you get them? The kidney in you, is it your kidney? Where does that label go? Christopher's kidney or Samantha's kidney. Where's the label? Does it have a label? No. Organs are organs are organs. Just like cells are cells are cells. Yes, of course, we have different structures. The shape is different. The shape is different, maybe the color is different. But what lies inside is same. There's no such different. They're just cells. Let's take an example. Let me introduce two characters to you. This is Sam and this is Samantha. Do you remember that pumpkin soup story? that pumpkin soup that we had for supper. They both had pumpkin soup. Now whatever they talk, walk, and whatever they do is pumpkin energy. Now the cells that are grown inside this body, the energy is taken from pumpkin. Yes, you can see a difference in the structure, the shape is different. But then what about the inside? The cells in there, the cells they are growing, the blood inside, the muscles, they are made out of the same stuff. Okay, let's do a transplant, a face transplant. I'm going to take off Sam's face and I'm going to transplant Samantha's face to Sam. Check whether you feel a difference. I took off Samantha's face and I'm going to transplant it to Sam's face. Do you feel any difference? Or is it just same? Does it make a big difference to you? It doesn't make a big difference. Just like a kidney transplant, just like a heart transplant. We could easily change these things because why? They are made out of simply this plastic or this cardboard. Just like the cells, just like the pumpkin energy, just like the soup energy, just like bread and butter that you eat. It's because they are same, they are similar to each other, we could change. We could do the transplants, we could do the transfusions. But the way that we think, we feel we are very different from each other. But are we truly different from each other? Or are we one and the same? I want you all to think about it. Because we sometimes tend to feel these differences because we think we are different from each other because we didn't know the stories behind the scenes. We did the transplants, we did the transfusions, but then we didn't think about it. We didn't have that much of, think about it. We didn't have an opportunity. We didn't want to think that deep into this. We just lived our normal conventional life and we've been just doing with whatever the norms we had, whatever the norms that we were grown with, and then we just lived with it. But deep down, we were doing certain things unknowingly, which didn't raise the awareness about the truth, about the truth about the whole world, about every living being. So I want you to take off your glasses, whatever you are wearing right now. Just take them off. Leave them aside and try to come out of the box. Think outside the box. We've been just trained to think in a certain way, and we have never ever tried to come out of that box and think outside that box. That's why these concepts are very alienate to us. We have never tried to think it in that way, in that manner. So let's try to understand the truth. Just don't confine yourself to whatever the norms that you know, whatever the conventions that you know. It doesn't mean that we don't respect them. Of course, we do respect whatever the conventions that we have. But then, simple things like this. Just trying to think about it. Spend some time to think about this. The oxygen that Samantha has taken is then it goes to Sam's lungs. To whom does that oxygen belong? To Samantha? Or does it belong to Sam? Can we really draw a borderline? Is it possible to draw a borderline for that oxygen? It just came from the trees, came from all the green plants out there. How can we draw a line to the oxygen that goes into this body or to this body? They share that oxygen. We share everything, but we feel we are so different. Just take a moment and think about this. Who are you and what are you doing on this earth?